On the last episode, I reported on some funding that was actually being used to pay for baby parts, and just a really evil story about how Planned Parenthood was sending different organs and things for research purposes to the NIH. Just a lot of sickening stuff. And this time, a new report is coming out that now they're even doing this to a degree with dogs as well. So this is, once again, another thing from Fauci, by the way, where he's providing taxpayer funding for researchers to infect beagles and test an experimental drug on them as well. And this is just as bad. I mean, you can't keep doing this. This kind of funding is ridiculous. It's just gotten out of hand. But so the Daily Caller was the one that was reporting on all of this. And they reported that the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease, like I said, which is once again Fauci's director of that, by the way, directed $424,000 in taxpayer funds to the University of Georgia last September to infect dozens of beagles with disease-causing parasites in order to test an experimental drug on them. So, according to the Freedom of Information Act, which we had to basically implement for them to even, by the way, remotely report on all of this. But remember, they would not tell us anything about this on their own because they don't want anybody to know about this. So that information there came out, and they said that they had 28 beagles that were allowed to develop infections for 3 months before being euthanized for blood collection. So even after they had the disease, it's not like they cured them and they went on their merry way. They killed them, collected their blood. These are the people that we have running this. This is, once again, this is Fauci, his organization, funding money to these other places, to these colleges, for the specific purpose and goal of doing this. And we're supposed to be just perfectly okay with this. Once again, this is why I don't listen to Fauci. This is why nobody should be caring what this guy's doing at all. And so you have them doing these studies like this. Like I said, these apparently began just last year. These aren't recent or long ago things. This was just in November 2020, and they've been scheduled to be euthanized as of in June 2021. I mean, it's absolutely evil stuff that these people are doing here. So the Daily Caller also noted that the experimental drug given to the beagles, LF Guard, has been already tested extensively on other animals, raising questions as to why in the world this experiment needed to even happen in the first place. Once again, it's almost like they're just being kind of loose and free with their money and basically just saying, hey, look, infect this, infect that, and do whatever you want. And my first thought in all of this is maybe now left-wing people will actually care about this. Maybe now they will, because we know they don't care anything about babies. They're not babies. They're this and fetal this and whatever. They continue to try to come up with as many terms as possible to take the name baby out of what's actually taking place there. But we know what the reality of the situation is. Even scientifically, we know what the reality is. But maybe now they'll care. I mean, where's PETA? What's PETA have to say about them literally torturing these dogs? I mean, there were reports as well in here talking about them, the dogs crying out in pain due to these infections. I mean, how in the world are they okay with this? There is, like, what's the ultimate goal that they're trying to get out of this? And you have them torturing dogs, you have them killing babies. I mean, all of this stuff is really just sickening stuff overall. And I'm really confused as to why in the world we have money going to these things. Why anybody would be funding Fauci at this point is beyond me. Now that these reports have come out, it's clear as day that government spending has gone too far. They're using your money to do this. It's not just some arbitrary amount of money that they received. This is your money that they are using towards this. It just blows my mind. And once again, if people knew what was going on, I guarantee you they wouldn't be supporting this. But that's where we're at right now. Not to mention the gain of function research as well from coronavirus as well that Fauci got caught up in. I mean, this virus, from what we can tell, pretty much only started because Fauci was funding your money into this type of research. And when you realize that, it makes you just kind of realize, okay, the government's going too far with this. We need to step this funding down. We need to stop doing what we're doing because this isn't going to help us at all. It's leading down nothing but a dangerous path. And when they're killing babies, killing these dogs, sicking an entire virus on the world, things need to be called into question here. We really need to try and figure out what's going on there. You just watched a clip from the William Hall Show. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe.